If you're an aspiring coach who's worried that you're getting into the digital field too late, you're concerned that you're in a field that's super saturated in terms of having a coach-backed branded presence on places like YouTube and elsewhere, especially elsewhere on social media, and you worry that you're never going to be able to make money, even make a living off of what you love to do, which is being a coach and helping other people have better lives, well, I can help you get a great start or restart to your business in a way that you can get traction and over time a sweet income too. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Stacy Storino. Welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for entrepreneurs who want their content marketing to convert content consumers into paying customers. Now, if you're like, Stacy, what can I do to start or restart my professional coach-based business model? Well, I got some unusual insight about how you can do just that, thanks to my having 8 years of experience coaching now, like thousands of students across the world, and that's why I created this video about how to start as a professional coach. But wait, before we go any further, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get the help that entrepreneurs like you need to succeed with content marketing that drives traffic to your business so that you can do more business. I recently did a video entitled How to Stand Out as a Professional Coach, and in it I discussed something that you need to do that you may or may not feel uncomfortable about doing, but if you don't do it, it's going to be super hard to build that coaching-backed branded community that you need that will love you, all that you stand for, including, most importantly, the unique way that you can help them as a coach. And if you don't stand out, you're not going to motivate many, if any, of what few followers you do have to make a purchase from you. So if you haven't watched that previous video yet, be sure to check it out after you're done watching this one. That said, you're already here, right? So let's get more into the subject of how to start as a professional coach. Now, as we get into this, let me tell you right now how to get the best start. So when it comes to starting or restarting your career as a professional coach, you need to understand that what should affect everything from your coach-based branding to the content creation decisions that you make every single day to help raise awareness about your business and drive traffic to it, well, all of that collectively is premised upon just one thing, really. Once you nail this one thing and you persistently and consistently work your branding and your content creation, both free and paid really, into what you do and how you do it, you'll be heading in the right direction, and it will be harder and harder over time for you and or your business to fail. What is that one thing that you need to master an understanding of or about? It's your ideal customer. You need to know who that person is, specifically how you can help them best with your content, both free and paid, and how to create content for them and optimize it on every single platform you're going to have a presence on in such a way that you can come up and search for that ideal customer. And over time, the algorithms that are run on all of the digital platforms that you must have a presence on to be visible to that ideal customer, those algorithms will surface enough information about you to serve up your content and suggestions to their users too. When you're leveraging the power of both search and suggested on each platform, YouTube and others, then you win the attention of your ideal customer. And by persistently and consistently publishing on these platforms, you stay top of mind with your ideal customer, you remain on their radar screen, and sooner or later, you'll have boosted the KLT factor or the know, like, and trust factor with them to the point where they're not just enjoying you as a coach and your free content, they want more of you. They want your exclusive stuff that's locked behind a paywall. They want more access to you, whatever. And they're willing to pay to get more from you and with you. The higher your KLT, the higher your sales can be. So having an ideal customer to create content for both free and paid is a must, because then you can use that particular specific and more narrowed down niche to help you put a spin on your content to make it different from your otherwise similarly situated competitors and stand out from them sufficiently enough to command the attention of your niche. How? The 3 content categories. Let's take a look at the 3 main content categories, okay? So there's entertainment, education, and inspiration. Nearly every professional coach defaults to education. Now, this would have probably been fine to just do alone, had it, would have been enough, especially when you consider the spin that you would put, just with your personality. Maybe like 5 to 10 years ago, it would have been enough. You might have found traction with that. Then you could just slowly work the algorithm and climb your way up the totem pole with optimization, keywords, SEO or search engine optimization, hashtags where applicable. And the algorithm would have been plenty fine with that per platform, not just on YouTube. It would only be a matter of time, and then you could have like a major coach-based branded platform of your own that was sizable enough to have sufficient social proof to win over the masses as contained in your specific niche. Now, well, that's only part of the equation. The humans have to start engaging and interacting with your content, sharing it out, saving it. The options and the parlance depends upon the platform. And that definitely includes platforms like YouTube for your pre-recorded videos, for example. But if people are passing on your YouTube videos, let's say, for example, they're not even clicking on your thumbnails, they're not even watching more than 2 minutes of your video, and then they're gone. They don't comment, like your video, nothing or almost nothing. Well, you could optimize your face off, and it's only going to take you so far today. So you have to really think about education and how-to type content where you're just spitting out information and nothing more than that, and ask yourself, is this enough to really stand out from the pack of Tony Robbins Jr.'s and Oprah's the Thirds? Or am I really just standing in a super saturated category in terms of coaching right now with nothing more than just parroting facts and data and advice going on? Maybe, maybe not. But just stick with me here. If you layer in entertainment and or inspiration properly in a way that's unique, that is connected to your X factor, we're going to get into that in a minute, perhaps that helps you to stand out. Maybe you say, okay, I'm funny as a person, maybe not enough to be a comedian, but I'm funny, I'm different, I make people laugh, so maybe I layer that into what otherwise would be a general or generic education-based video. Maybe I'm funny as I talk to people on live streams, or during my pre-recorded YouTube content, let's say, as I crack wise about having to deal with whatever main pain point serves as the intersecting interest that would join or connect my ideal customers with a business like mine. There, I'm entertaining, and it's got an X factor of its own that will help me to stand out from other coaches who are just, comparatively speaking, boring, bland, and beige. The 3 bad Bs as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you need to be the coach that's more relatable, more vulnerable. That's a spin that can make you look different. That's not you being the millionth Marie Forleo, and that's that. People like it when you're creating content that, in more ways than one, is custom crafted just for people like them, and not the generic crowd, and or in the generic way that they're used to getting content served up to them in. That makes you and your content more share-worthy, more bingeable, more likable too, if you're entertaining, if you're raw and real, if you're must-see TV or must-see YouTube or whatever. Otherwise, you'll drown in the sea of sameness with every other Me Too and also ran out there. So see what kind of an X factor or spin you can claim when you're creating your content. An education and a how-to might still be a category, of course, that you can claim your specialized audience of ideal customers with, who will be way more passionate about a coach like you and way more likely to spread the word about you and your content to other underserved ideal customers who are struggling with their main pain point too. Because look, ain't nobody running around sharing beige like it's some sort of revelatory hot flash from the newsroom, am I right? Entertainment versus inspiration. Now, let's not ignore an inspirational piece of flair to help you rise above the 3 bad Bs. In terms of inspiration, maybe your inspirational-based, coach-based content and branding can provide a non-toxic environment for your ideal customer to work through their pain point with. One that's super high energy maybe, or maybe you're creating content, both free and paid, that has a corresponding community too, that is the perfect solution for ideal customers who want a lo-fi and chill experience to work on their pain point in. You know what I mean? People want to support brand leaders who are just like them, who get them, like, and have the same proclivities as them, and understand them in a way that generic coaches don't appear to understand. Now that's getting a good start for your coach-based brand, and in a way for you to create a grassroots revolution that your ideal customers will not only be attracted to, but will become zealous brand advocates of, recruiting other people too, digitally and IRL as well. Especially when it comes to people having a common gripe, struggle, or main pain point in common, other people want to be helpers and leaders themselves. So they're happy to play big person on campus and spread the word once they know that you're legit. But now you need to learn what I call the UVP formula. So to help you understand your ideal customer and your X factor better, no matter what category of content you want to create or keep creating in, entertainment, education, and or inspiration, I have the UVP formula, or the unique value proposition that you should have for your ideal customer. If you don't give someone a reason why they should say subscribe to you, follow you, and or support you, they're not likely going to do it on their own. There's too many other fish out in the sea of sameness, you see. This UVP formula should keep you mindful in terms of your coach-based branding, as well as the content you create, both through lives and pre-recorded material, both free and paid content, so that you're not just pushing out generic stuff reeking of the 3 bad Bs that, no offense, no one needs any more of. Plus, you can't really have a great start or restart to your coaching-based business if you have a fuzzy business concept. And your concept is fuzzy if you can't really plug it into the UVP formula, which is, quote, as a professional coach, I help niche ideal customer achieve desire or problem solution related to a need without old method through new method, unquote. Here's my example of a fleshed out version of the UVP formula for me. As a professional coach, I help other coaches and course creators to engage in content marketing that drives traffic to their business so that they can do more business without their drowning in a sea of sameness, through having them custom craft a specific, credible, trustworthy, branded experience that their ideal customers join in large numbers, because that experience is a life-enhancing revolution and not just more same old bland instruction. Get it? Now it's your turn. So listen, I want to hear from you. What is your unique value proposition for your ideal customer, no matter what your business model is? Comment below. I do read your comments. In the meantime, if you want more help in terms of distinguishing yourself from the crowd and increasing your trustworthiness in the eyes of your niche, I actually have a freebie for you to pick up called 10 Reasons Why You're Viewed as a Fake Guru and How to Gain Credibility and Customers Instead. And you can pick it up at don'tbeafakeguru.com. The link for you to score that freebie guide is in the show notes or the description down below. There you have it. You now have my answer when it comes to the subject of how to start as a professional coach. Need more help? Be sure to check out these 2 awesome videos as well, because they'll teach you great content marketing strategies that can also help to blow up your business. Enjoy.